I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta. Today on the show, I am joined by the Cuban Missile Crisis of Burlesque, the one and only Tito Bonito. We talk about croquetas and assholes. The T is silent. But first, do you want to see me go off? Because I think you want to see me go off.
Mom!
Are you a lady like me? Introspective, beautiful. Oh, are you intellectual like me? Beguiled by a bargain? You like wild times? Oh, like me? Are you serving the community like me? Well, if you are, then you must be very Delta. I'm Delta Work, and this is Very Delta, a luxury public access podcast and YouTube talk show where I look gorgeous, speak extemporaneously, and invite fascinating people to sit on the couch and get very Delta. Very Delta is for the woman who knows what is remembered is up to you. But first, let's get into some things that are very Delta. You know what I don't need? I don't need two Dollar Trees in the same shopping center. I hold the space for Dollar Tree. I love Dollar Tree. I could go to Dollar Tree every single day and find something different because I'm open to it. Baby, I want seasonal items. I want Renews-It candles from last Christmas. I want, seasonings with questionable dates. Like, I want all of that. I want a bunch of different things. And what I love for sure about Dollar Tree is crafting items, fake flowers. You know, I love all that stuff. So I hold the space for Dollar Tree. But recently, and this might be regional, it is regional. So if you are outside of the state of California, this may not specifically apply to you in a literal sense, but you've experienced this in other ways, I'm sure. A few months ago, out of nowhere, all the 99 only stores closed. Just cut ties, they were gone. Since 1982, we've had 99 only stores. That's what they're called, 99 only. So once they closed, we heard immediately, hold on. The former CEO or Beep Bop Boop or whoever it is of Pick and Save, which later became Big Lots, said he had a plan. He thinks he has the investors to purchase all of the 99-cent stores and save them. So he said, after about 3 months after them closing, I think we can rebrand this. We can bring this back and everyone can have their 99-cent stores back, maybe as 99-cent store. But here's the thing. I then see an article the other day, and the article says all the 99-cent stores in Southern California have been purchased and they will now become Dollar Tree stores. Okay. And everyone was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Just in time. They saved the day. They're saving the day. They're saving 99-cent store. I have questions because I want to hold the space for this idea that maybe they can fix it. Maybe Dollar Tree is going to somehow incorporate this brand and this sort of business model of having what 99-cent store had, which is produce, a lot more food items, a ton of similar but different seasonal items, bakery items that were brought in from other stores, bakeries, I guess. But I don't know that that's going to happen because if they're just becoming Dollar Tree again, I don't need two Dollar Trees in one location that are basically stores that have one employee and no merchandise. We already have that. So I don't feel like the day is being saved. I think we're now saying, because listen, in my city, there is a Dollar Tree and a 99 that were in the same shopping center. So what's going to happen? Are you going to pay rent on a bigger Dollar Tree and take everything from the smaller one into the bigger one and then just have it be fucking empty? I don't know. Again, these are just questions. Maybe they have the plan. I don't think anybody makes these purchases without a plan. I feel like I'm owed an explanation. I feel like I've spent enough money in there that somebody should have personally come to me. I feel like I'm the representative. They should have come to me and said, how should we do this? How should we move forward? I think it only makes sense. I make my flower arrangements from there. I like to go there and buy a dozen eggs. Well, actually, I don't like to buy a dozen eggs there. Sometimes the eggs are too expensive at 99-cent store. You know, some people talk about it's cheaper to buy at this store versus that store. Some people don't shop at a bunch of different stores because they can't, right? Some people say, oh, which is true. If you buy canned food at 99-cent store, and it's $1.49 or it's 99 cents, it's cheaper at Walmart. And that's very true because you can get certain canned vegetables for 57 cents. That's true. But the thing is, not everybody has the same access to those kinds of stores. So say you're somebody who lives in a motel. That's very possible. Maybe the closest thing to you is a Dollar Tree or is a 99-cent store. These are things that are very real reasons. Why do I go? Oh, because sure, my dollar goes further. I have a good time walking around. Is it the only place I can shop? No. But for some people, it is the only place. And so I feel like there is a way for them to make this happen, right? I mean, and we go to other stores. You ever been to 99 and Up? I have a friend that was on tour and she had to send me a picture of a location she went to, and it was called 99-Cent Dreams. What dreams are 99 cents? I'm dreaming. I'm dreaming of the 99-cent store. I want jet puffed marshmallows in the color blue outside of their season. Like, I want that stuff, right? We need that stuff. For some people, it's the only place they can shop. So when somebody says, oh, you could get it cheaper over there. Yeah, but guess what? Some people don't have a car. Some people can't drive over there. Some people don't want to walk. Some people are like, this is what I have to get. So sometimes the things that they buy have to be $1.49, even though they could get it for 57 cents. Whatever it is, we want the 99-cent store back so bad. You know what I miss? I miss just like going out to lunch and then saying, let's go walk around at 99-cent store and see if Halloween stuff is out yet. Right now is when we would be anticipating Halloween from the 99-cent store, from Momentum Brands. Momentum Brands, where are you? Where can we find you? We need you. We miss you. We think that because you've been displaced by 99 only, you could show up somewhere else. But where? I don't live far from the City of Commerce. Are you having a warehouse sale? Could we go there and buy Day of the Dead statues? Could we go there and buy glittered reindeer to hang on the tree for Christmas? That's what I want to know. These are the questions that I have. I have bought so many things from 99-cent store that are with me to this day. I have purchased artificial Christmas trees, beautiful ones. I have purchased finials for Christmas, decorations, so many cool things, photos, paintings, flowers. I miss all of that so much. You know what you have to realize too is you used to be able to get really cool products that were on the shelves and didn't last for very long, but you kind of fell in love with, but not everybody fell in love with. You would find them at 99 only. Certain lotions. Oh my gosh. Ione. Hello, Ione. Eyelashes, cosmetics. I love Ione blush. I love Ione lashes. I miss all of it. I miss it so much. I'm praying. I'm holding the space right here for there to be, maybe this is what it's going to be. Dollar Tree beyond Dollar Tree. So it's going to be things at Dollar Tree are all, well, that couldn't even be either because Dollar Tree has the $5 spot now, which is fine. A lot of people get bothered by that. A lot of people say, oh gosh, Dollar Tree should just be $1. Well, guess what? We are moving. We are on this planet. We are moving forward. How are the people that are providing the merchandise supposed to provide the merchandise that you want at $1.25 or whatever it is if they are not paying less? Like, they have to make a profit. This is not a charity, right? 99-cent store, Dollar Tree, just because they're less expensive and just because they always were, does not mean that they are a charity. They have to make a profit. So if they have areas of the store that say, hey, this stuff is a little more expensive and we're letting you know, But the idea here is to keep it as close to that price. We have to hold the space. We have to understand it's not charity. It's just not, and it's never going to be, and it never was. But I would like some reasonable facsimile, right? I still, when I bought my vegetables at 99-cent store, I liked saying, like, look at how gorgeous this fruit is. I want this gorgeous, beautiful fruit. I want juicy navel oranges. I want a bag of them. And I want to pay, I want, this is the thing. I don't want a bargain, right? I've said this before. I want a value. I want to say that seemed appropriately priced within my budget. It seems fresh. It seems local. It seems like I could get there. It seems like I don't have to, go to Whole Paycheck and buy all of my, or Whole Foods and buy all of my vegetable, Erewhon? If you don't want to buy your vegetables at the dollar spot, fine, don't. But I do. So I'm waiting. I'm just throwing my questions out there because I feel like we're getting a lot of different stories, right? And I drive by the 99-cent store and sometimes I can see the lights are on and I think someone is in there planning. Someone is in there restocking. Somebody in there is like, wait a minute, we got the wrong message. We are actually not closed. Peel that paper down, put a sign up on the wall, turn the lights on, curtain up, light the lights, play it, boys. You either got it or you ain't. And boys, I got it. You like it? Well, guess what? I got it. And that's what I hope. I hope someone's in there. They're ready to relaunch. And I know it's not true because I saw that Dollar Tree slapped on there and I said, oh, for God's sake, really? Really? I feel like that's kind of like, this is like the vibes that I get is like, when you have the friends that are in a relationship and they fight all the time and then they're like, oh, we're done forever. We're done. And then all of a sudden they're like, we're having a really good day. We're having a really good day. This is going to work. And you're like, oh God, if I hear one more time that you're having a really good day, you're not. You're bad for each other. So the fear that I have about this relaunch is like, don't worry. We can bring it back. And I'm like, can you? How though? How is she though? How can she though? Can she bring back my Salad Express? Can she bring back my Bolt House smoothies? Can you bring back my Sunny Delight? Can you bring back those rows and rows and rows of kielbasa behind the thing? Can you bring back a gift wrap aisle? Can you bring back day-old baked goods? Can you bring back, I don't know, or Oreos from Germany? Like, what can you bring back? Because that's what I need. That's what I want. That's what I require. That's what the people need. And I'm here to tell you, if you play in my face or the face of my people, we will fucking ride at dawn. I'm telling you right now, we are the consumers. And we've already realized we can live without it. But if you say you're coming back, you better come back correct. Because if I let you back into my life, it better be right. Listen, this is what I plan to do. I need to reach out to somebody. I need to show up in drag to the ribbon cutting of a 99-cent store relaunch. And if it's under Dollar Tree or whatever name, but if I find out that they have produce, bakery, seasonal, and it looks like the old 99-cent store with the same business idea and the best tote bags you ever saw in your life, I'll show up in drag. I'm going to need a little of this, but I'll show up in drag and do the ribbon cutting. Maybe I get a gift card or something. I would love to. Hi, baby. Oh, I know. We're back. Oh, Carol Ann, I love you. We're back. I love it. I hope 99-cent store comes back. If I was at the ribbon cutting for the 99 only relaunch, I would say, hearts gather round. Please join me in a prayer. And we would hold hands like this. And we would say, we have been rediscovered. We have been reimagined. We have been seen all over again. We are here united together. in a brotherhood, in a sisterhood, in a theyhood of value, of decency, of family, of richness, of peace of mind, and we are ready to fuck it up. You heard? Do you want to see me take a break? I think you want to see me take a break. Curious about how you can achieve smooth, natural-looking, long-lasting filler results? The Juvederm collection of fillers has 6 unique gel fillers that add subtle volume and are designed for different needs and specific areas of the face like lips, cheeks, chin, smile lines, under eyes, and jawline. Ask your licensed specialist for a full face assessment today and download the Alley app. That's ALLE, the official loyalty program of Juvederm, to save on treatments and to get a look that's true to you. For important safety information and to find a licensed specialist, visit Juvederm.com. That's JUVEDERM.com. Not for people with severe allergic reactions, allergies to lidocaine, or the proteins used in Juvederm. Common side effects include injection site redness, swelling, pain, tenderness, firmness, lumps, bumps, bruising, discoloration, or itching. There's a risk of unintentional injection into a blood vessel, which can cause vision abnormalities, blindness, stroke, temporary scabs, or scarring. Talk to a licensed specialist to find out if it's right for you. Visit Juvederm.com. That's Juvederm.com. JUVEDERM.com. Today's guest is an international star who has been lauded by the Burlesque Hall of Fame as the most comedic. It is the Cuban Missile Crisis, the one and only Tito Bonito.
Hello, hello.
Hi, thank you for being here.
Thank you so much for having me, Delta. I'm so excited to be here. I love this show.
And we are standouts specifically because we aren't late to anything.
Correct.
We are early.
Correct. Especially as Latinx people.
Right.
We are always going to be early, not on time.
Right.
No. I appreciate that about you.
I appreciate that about you. I mean, I know you were waiting in the back while I was in here drinking Diet Coke and staring at the wall.
I can't believe y'all are still not sponsored by Coca-Cola.
We should be, right?
Or Diet Coke, at least.
Do you think if Pepsi came through and they were like, we want to sponsor, I would just be like, I love Pepsi?
I think if the price is right,
Right.
you'd probably be like Britney, where she was like, I like Pepsi. What are you talking about? Pepsi's great.
That's the best clip ever. She's like, she was on fire. I'm so happy you're here. And I wanted, I feature these all the time because I love them. But I had to go, I saw this banana at a store a couple of weeks ago. And I was like, I have to get the banana. They have to go together. Because I just feel like what you do brings so much joy to people. And I love that you play with not just innuendo, but sometimes you're raw in someone's face. And then it comes back to this coquettish thing. Where did you learn all that?
I feel like I've always been, even though I've been very, very apprehensive to be in the limelight as a child, I was always very charming. That's something that was always given to me as a characteristic of myself, of my personality. So I think that's just built up over time, especially in burlesque. As a male, there is a lot of people who aren't always welcoming of my presence. So as the host, I have the ability to kind of win them over and show them that even though they may expect certain things to happen, we're all in it to have a good time.
Right. And that is an interesting space to be in because I feel like, especially now, we're in a place, I can speak from the drag world, where we're finally at a place where we are trying to not just embrace, but showcase all different sort of facets of drag. For a long time, people thought drag kings were so new, and it's not new, and it's not niche.
Mm-hmm.
But when you only see certain things celebrated on television, this is the only kind of drag there is. The people that are consuming it that never go to a nightclub think that that's all there is, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so the same goes with burlesque. People always think it's just drop your dress and then walk forward and let me look at you. And there's so much more to the tease than that.
Or the Christina Aguilera and Cher movie. That's a big one, which I actually don't hate because I appreciate that it brought burlesque more into the mainstream. And I still feel like it's growing. So it's still like very baby in the minds of people. but it's still something that I don't know. Once people see it in the right setting for them, it's just like drag. It's like revolutionary to them.
I really feel like, and I think you do too, everybody can incorporate a little bit of burlesque in their life, whether it's forever, whether it's for a
Absolutely.
fantasy for a partner, or maybe they just want to, I think we were all born to stand out, not to blend in, right? So maybe some people are
Absolutely.
like, hey, for my birthday, I want to work on something to show my friends at a party. Back in the day, people would have a party trick, but that's not real. This is more like a showcase of an art form. What could somebody do if they wanted to start learning? I know you teach lessons,
I
right?
do. I do. There's a ton of amazing, especially now with the internet, there's a ton of resources to
Hmm.
find different teachers, different styles that you want to do. I mean, honestly, especially even just Amazon, 12 years ago, you couldn't buy pasties and like
Right.
leggings on or different kinds of sexy lingerie on Amazon, but now you can. So, just honestly, one of the biggest things I do when I host, being a cisgendered male, is having that voice to be able to tell the men in the audience that are looking at their wives and girlfriends like, babe, you gotta try this when you get home. I want
Hmm.
all of them to look at their boyfriends and husbands and just be like, you first, because it is for everyone. And like
Right.
the idea of just even butt tassels, everyone has a butt, so why not just have some fun, not take it too seriously, go home and play your favorite song and just take off your clothes a little slower than you normally would have. Just see
Yeah.
how it makes you feel. Some people, it is not their thing and there's nothing wrong with that. But I think a lot more people would have a little more fun in life if they just, try things that interest them, but they, honestly never saw within themselves.
I think it's definitely something that people will watch burlesque. There's so much you can take from it just in your own natural daily life. Like there's so much flourish you can use. There's so much. I've seen so many people take off a glove in so many ways.
Very true.
And I feel like I've seen Dirty Martini do this thing where the glove comes off and then it sits on her bust and then it just pops off.
Yeah.
And if you think about just that one little thing, makes everyone stop and look and stare and they think, whoa, the power in that. The power in like just what's been done with your body and where it went and what a glove symbolizes, what it looks like. There's so much innuendo in it, but it's magical. Some people, when they do, I think a lot of people have this view of burlesque that the look is always required to be a vintage look. So some people go, oh, burlesque, that's pinup. Right. And they think it's one decade or one
Mhm.
specific look. So when you do feature what it is that you do, there are a variety of different looks that could be any decade. But then when you do something else like outside of it in your feature just for specific dance, it could be a modern look, right?
Yeah.
What is that? Why do people you think have that view that it's only to be a vintage look?
I think that's just something that they go to. I think people still are learning. I think burlesque performers are still learning what they're able to do with burlesque.
Hmm.
So I think if we are as artists trying to figure it out, the audience is still, a little bit behind us. So I think also everyone loves nostalgia. So they kind of want a reference point to that. The Roaring
Right.
20s was a big thing that everybody wanted to have. But I think people just really don't always have the best reference points to things. So, and even though that's not a bad one, it's still something that like people haven't really wrapped their heads around nerdlesque and neo burlesque,
Right.
just doing regular new songs, even in vintage outfits and not performing to an older song.
Hmm.
So once people see that more, my goal is always to have just burlesque continue to happen because like I do really feel that when people see it, they really, especially if it's fed to them in the correct way, even if they're a little bit kind of second guessing it, if they're presented it in the right way, it's revolutionary for them, just like good drag is.
Right.
So I think that's really why.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I always think, I mean, when I look at what you do, you allow people to have a freedom about their sexuality and understand the time and place and difference between sexuality and sensuality and being funny about something and being sincere. It can all happen at the same time, right?
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
feel like that's the magic.
I love the way you talk because you just say it in such an eloquent, artistic way, and
Oh,
it's the perfect way to describe what I try to do. Because I do think that a lot of people come into it very kind of like, even if they're into it, there's a good majority of people that come into burlesque shows kind of a little bit like, because sexuality is still seen as such a
right.
not comfortable thing. And so when they laugh at it, when they can enjoy themselves, it really kind of opens themselves up, not
For
just
sure.
watching a show, but just almost like psychologically.
Right. I mean, I can remember my mom going to Vegas to see like just like one of the traditional shows with the backpacks and all of that. And I remember thinking in my mind, oh my gosh, I wonder what my mom's going to think of, like, bare breasts or butts or whatever. And like, I ended up asking her, I'm like, what did you think? And she's like, oh, it's such a beautiful, beautiful show. Like the showcase of these beautiful bodies. Like it's so, and I thought, does it make you uncomfortable? Because in my mind, again, still sort of raised in this place where like you don't look at certain things with your parents. And she was like, I understand why you're asking, but it's not uncomfortable because it's so beautiful. It's art.
I
The
love that.
people that don't appreciate that are hung up on something else.
Oh.
And she's like, and I don't want you to ever be hung up on that and to be fearful of that. And that's like, because I think you're in a space too where you do entertain in front of a ton of women or women who have their husbands maybe there, and you play a fun game, which I think is funny. And that's where you can be very forefront about it because maybe you sort of edge them in a way and then you get there. And that is your brilliant psychic abilities in your game called
Cut or Uncut.
which is perfect. How do people respond to that?
It's actually pretty good because it's a easy way to keep things going, but also to lend yourself to the idea of just whatever's going to happen is going to happen.
Mhm.
And it may be magical. It may be one joke. So I just kind of was like 50-50. I already want to know. It's something that I love. I love uncircumcised penises. Can we
You can say all of it.
say that? Okay. I love uncircumcised penises. So I just really want to know.
Mm-hmm.
And it came out of that. And so 50-50, you're going to figure out if it's correct or not. And sometimes you find out that somebody is circumcised 2 times. Sometimes you lend yourself to the conversation of foreskin restoration.
Yes.
And you can build up a lot off of that. So I'm trying to do more. When I host, I try to think of it more like I'm the audience's friend and we can talk together and have conversations together. More stand-up, but yet still hosting and kind of having that division between the audience. So it really is just to have fun. And I still, I'm a big person on consent and making sure that everyone is having a good time, but they
Right.
want to have a good time. So just talking to the men, most of the time, I think they just let me have the right answer to like have the show be exciting because they know,
Right.
So, and even if I get it wrong, half of the time I can just say, thanks, I have a visual now. And I just keep the show moving along and not, trying to just awkwardly try to figure out everyone's genitalia situation.
What, do you have any advice for the amateur penis soothsayer that's trying to figure out how can I best assess the situation? How would they know?
Wait,
What are some tips?
Can you say that one more time? That was beautiful.
Penis soothsayer.
Soothsayer. Wow,
Yeah.
I'm going to try that a couple times. Do I have anything
Like
as far as
any
advice for them? No, just have fun. Like, ask people consent. That's really honestly the biggest piece of advice I can ever give to anyone talking about anything that isn't themselves. Just make sure you come from a place of love.
And I've been known to be able to cast my predictions, and I have to tell you, it's usually for me, it's a taste test. So that's how I have to do it. Yeah, but everyone has their own way. Let's take a break.
For decades, LGBTQ plus people have been targeted, harassed, and attacked. But the Human Rights Campaign and its supporters kept showing up, fighting for the rights of all people to be safe being themselves. Now, with extreme legislative attacks on LGBTQ plus people across the country, they need our help to show up again. This Pride, donate by visiting hrc.org/givepride, and they'll send you their iconic equality sticker.
We are back with the gorgeous Tito Bonito. We were talking earlier about the joke of cut or uncut and getting to people, getting to them, sort of breaking it down. You know what I mean? Breaking it down to something that is just so simple, something that's so easy. When you are in audiences that are, say, largely women, because what you present is fantasy, and it's fun, but it's also sensuality and sexuality. Do you ever have audience members that may express an interest in you where you're like, oh no, baby, it's not going to be like that. This began and ended up here. Does that ever happen?
I'm laughing because absolutely,
Yeah.
yes. Definitely the women love to be like, you're gonna do me tonight. And I'm like, babe, not only am I a bottom, but like I'm also on the clock. Like, this is work.
Right.
Human resources, can we get?
Right.
But yeah, no, it definitely happens. I think it's also one of those things where people say it and they don't actually like, because I have been doing this new thing to raise money, especially at like fundraisers or just even if I'm broke, where I will tell the audience if they tip $50 or more, I will airdrop them a nude photo of myself.
Okay.
And sometimes people will be like, oh my God, I want it. And they don't actually want it. They just want to do the bit. So I feel like sometimes that happens too when people are just so excited about the whole burlesque show that they're like, oh, I want to see if I can take the host home because he's so flirtatious.
Right.
And then once I'm like actually talking to them, I'm like, let me see your husband real quick. Or
Right.
let me see what the situation is.
Do they actually get a nude photo?
If they want it, absolutely. I wouldn't lie.
Do they get to pick the front or the back?
If you're my friend, yeah. Oh, yes, they can pick the front or the back.
Uh-huh.
And then if you're my friend, I can show you the gallery and then I'll let you pick whichever.
Oh,
Yeah.
see, I'm not mad at that. There's options. It's a tier sort of thing, right? Like if you're silver, if you're gold, platinum.
Patreon, if you will.
That. I love that. And you do feature additional content for people. If people are interested, you are a content creator. Where can people find some of that content?
Anything that I have connected to my intraweb, my life is on TitoBonito.com. I'm very crazy about keeping the calendar updated of the shows I have coming up. OnlyFans, all of that kind of thing is up there. I don't really get too much into OnlyFans. It was more like a safety during COVID that I just kept going on because the social medias do not like butt tassels all the time, especially Instagram. So I feel like taking off the naked content online and putting it on OnlyFans has really helped me because then if people want to see it, they have a space for it.
Well, butt tassels is something you're very known for. That's what you mentioned. What is the real process of putting on ass tassels?
Every person's different, but for me, it is wig tape, double-sided wig tape, and it doesn't matter if I'm sweaty or not. It'll hold on for dear life. Sometimes it'll hurt so bad to peel it off that I almost want to just videotape the like that part of
the peeling.
Mm-hmm.
So if the ass is here,
oh, you want an actual like situation.
I'm looking at it. Where would they go? Are there sometimes where they can be sort of like low hangers? Do they go more in the middle?
It depends. Everyone's booty is a little different, but I like mine since I have a little plump booty that's like fat. I can put them to basically look like breasts on the bottom. So I want the pasties to be like nipples. But some people, I think if you want a little bit more, spin, you either want them there or on the top. On the bottom, it can get a little bit. But it depends. Everyone's butt's different. Some people's butt, it can fit perfectly there. You kind of want a top or middle moment.
Have you ever had them on and one just fell off?
100%. It doesn't happen too often, thankfully.
Do you, would you say that you always rehearse at home before you try out something? Or do you sometimes just go and say, I'm gonna just do it and see what happens?
I think it's very obvious that sometimes I just wing it. It's very a trial and error. I'm a very trial and error artist.
Okay.
It's also like venues change so dramatically. You could be in a space where you're this close to somebody performing, and that is a completely different energy, as you know, than being on a stage with a curtain and like you can't even see the audience because the light is on you.
Right.
So even if I have something that is heavily choreographed, I always lend room to like have fun with it. So I'm never like, oh my God, I didn't do that the right way. It's more just like, what's happening today?
I've seen that in just a drag entertainer that maybe is going to just have, maybe it's just a reveal of like they're going to take something off, and I always think like, oh, they'll have it like in a bag and they'll say like, oh yeah, I just got this coat, I'm going to wear it, and they put it on and they don't realize like it's different with your fingernails or it's different with hair that's sitting on sequin or something, right? It makes a difference. So if you've never done it and they're like, and they get that fright and you can see it, and then you just watch like a fastener just snap. And you're like, oh, babe. Or they think like, well, I can take my gloves off. And then they realize, oh, I'm putting the glove over something sequin. Baby, that's never coming off.
No, those definitely need rehearsal. I feel like also I'm new to my costumes are being nice.
Okay.
So pre-pandemic, I was still very, trying my hardest. I was still Dollar Tree of burlesque, if you will.
Okay.
And so now, like, especially I have a newer outfit where it's like a big Cuban flag that like the sleeves come off and they connect and it becomes a boa.
Okay.
And like that, I definitely wasn't going to trial and error on stage. Like that,
Sure.
I definitely rehearsed. But I feel like the more the costumes come into play and the more expensive they are, the more I try that avenue for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely rehearsing is essential, but like it's kind of like performing in the pandemic. Like to perform, to throw everything in a room to no applause doesn't feel like the same as actually doing it in front of people.
Sure.
So rehearsing is always still a little weird for me too.
Yeah. And you just toured Japan.
Yes.
With Jezebel Thunder, who's
Yeah.
been here before. You were the first two burlesque entertainers to receive visas for touring as burlesque entertainers.
Yeah.
What is that?
Yeah. In Tokyo, our friend Nikita Bitch Project put the entire thing together.
Mhm.
She had we had all met performing in LA, when I first moved here 12 years ago. And so she created this company called the American Burlesque, and her goal was, because she started getting into burlesque basically after like the tsunami that hit Japan a decade ago, and she really wanted to find something that was allowing her to be happy, because everyone over there was very much like, we don't want joy right now, we just want to mourn. And she wanted to express herself in a happy, joyful way. So when she found burlesque, she really fell in love with it. Then we all know the last couple of years have been a little rough. So she created this and worked really hard to get me and Jezebel entertainment visas, because Tokyo did not see burlesque as anything outside of just sex work, which nothing wrong with it, but in their eyes was definitely not something that they award work visas for. So she worked really hard to get us to have that, which was really amazing. And I'm beyond blessed. We went to 3 different cities, did I think 6 shows, and still processing it because it was pretty incredible. But yeah.
What is that like? What did you love about Japan?
Everything. I was there for 3 weeks, and honestly, the first day that I got there, my friend Nikita had taken me to a Janet Jackson and TLC concert.
Whoa.
So if anybody knows me, they know I love TLC to exhaustion. And Janet Jackson was my first artist that I loved. So to have them both together, that has literally never happened in both of their careers. On the first day I got there, it kind of just was that kind of energy the entire 3 weeks that I was there. And then to be able to perform, I also performed a TLC song with Nikita that we do as a duet that was entered into the Burlesque Hall of Fame. And even Left Eye's mom made me a hat that Left Eye used to wear so that I could tour and perform with it. Because we do Mario and Luigi, so we do like a hip hop version of it. So I had a big like green, like that old Left Eye on the TLC tip kind of hat. So her mom made me, signed it and everything, and I was able to use that. So the whole trip was very magical beyond explanation. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
But so you were born and raised in Miami, but went to school in college. Is that where you met Shea?
Yes, in Chicago. Yeah, at Columbia College.
Wow. And you did run around and get crazy together? Did you do creative things together?
We did do a couple creative things together. We performed not only Chicago, Minneapolis. We performed there as well. Obviously, her trajectory went insane. And but her, Geez Louise, got me into burlesque. We were all a lot of college friends, Po Chop, a lot of the people that I'm still friends with, a lot of the people who still do burlesque and are really well known are still part of like the core college group. So that's pretty cool.
That's amazing. I love that, and I mentioned Shea Couleé, because it's interesting how creative people really are very connected through one or two people. It's really not much different. And, you've been on this set before, but in another capacity.
Yeah.
Because you've been featured in Big Dipper videos, because you're friends with Big Dipper, and you've done your rehearsals and your performances right here in this spot. What is it like being in a Big Dipper video?
He featured me in the first one. The first one was Lookin', the car wash, epic car wash video. And he had me do my infamous butt tassels in some soapy water and wash the car with that. So that was very interesting because I just kind of didn't know what to expect, but it was just so much, beautiful men everywhere. Like it was just a lot of energy. It's still one of my favorite videos. I still think that it was robbed for the 2018 MTV Video Music Awards.
I could see that. And you're not the only person who said that.
Yeah.
Do you face much competition with other entertainers that do similar to what you do? Or I know we talk about people stealing ideas, and that's completely separate. That's like a thing that we can point a million different ways and get over a million different ways. But are there things where it's like, this is my venue?
Oh,
This is my
no.
thing. Is there not much of that?
Yes, not with me.
Okay.
I'm very, especially male burlesque is something that is still so Latin burlesque, male burlesque is still a minority within multiple minorities. So I'm very open whenever I see anybody that even if another male was doing my same song, I really could care less. It's more the idea of if we can create together, if they create awesome things, if they are adding something to the community of burlesque is amazing. So I don't have any sort of competition. I think you've talked about this in other episodes. I think a lot of that is put on ourselves because that's just the way we were trained with
Right.
sports growing up. So, but there is enough space for everybody. That's something that Left Eye always used to say. Like
There is.
literally there's space for everyone. And that idea, especially in a space like burlesque, it's really weird to try to like gatekeep anything. That's even why I moved to LA, because LA is such a massive entity and it's still such a small blip in the burlesque world.
Sure.
So I would love LA to have this like plethora of burlesque, a burlesque venue where it was just like all night, every night, something different would be incredible. As long as we were having a good time, as long as we're making art, I am never having a bad time.
I love that.
I mean,
love
yeah.
that. That's so fun. The thing is, it's like, I think it is true. There is enough room. There is enough space. There is, you said something that Left Eye said, and I feel like Missy Elliott one time said this thing that was, flowers can bloom on a bush, right? And there can be several blossoms. Nobody's worried about which one's more pink, which one's more orange. Just keep blooming.
That part.
Right. And it's really true. It's
That's
really
so
true.
amazing.
I know for the drag world, there's plenty of people that are like, oh, this is my favorite of the dance girls. This is my favorite of the big girls. This is my favorite of the... It's like, you can like them all. You don't have to pick. You don't have to say. Now, sure, there's people that you resonate with or resonate with you and it feels good. But a lot of people will say, well, who's your favorite of this? Babe, I like them all so much. Let's take a break. Do you cook food?
I do. I love cooking.
You do?
Yeah. I don't do it too often. It's, being single, but
Yeah.
I do love cooking.
Yeah. Do you have a particular dish that you like to cook?
So I've been doing, Cubans have croquetas.
Mm-hmm.
And they are usually made with minced ham or chicken, sometimes bacalao fish, cheese, sometimes they're a little mozzarella. I like vegan croquetas. I've been making that because they kind of, the older I get, don't sit in my stomach too well. So I've been making vegan croquetas.
Okay.
And that's been really fun.
We are back with Tito Bonito, who was just saying off camera, woof, woof. How did you do it?
I was going woof, woof.
I love that. This is the part of the show called Read Me Delta.
Read Me Delta!
Yeah, people will send in letters with questions and queries, advice. And if you do want to send in a letter, you can send it to readmedelta@gmail.com with any of your queries. Hold on. We've had this kicking around. I know. Old school.
Nostalgia.
Can I take a picture of you?
You can do whatever you want.
Don't say that. Oh, that was a good one.
Ooh.
Yes. Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
that sound is so
I know.
satisfying.
Kind of reminds you of like, what are some of the old sounds? Like a dial-up computer. That's so
The
funny.
rotary phone.
The rotary phone.
Hit the 9 and let that just go the whole way.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Dear Delta and Tito, what is something that you're proud of this Pride season? For me, I'm proud to have come out to a handful of friends. They've been very supportive and it feels great to finally be out of the closet. Thank you for always feeding the children every week. You ate it up. Both of you, we are eating you up. Happy Pride. Sincerely, Very Marshall. What are you proud of?
Very Marshall.
Marshall.
That's amazing. First of all, congratulations on coming out. What a weight to be lifted off of your shoulders.
Right.
I'm very proud to be featured in the Burlesque Hall of Fame Museum's Latin Heritage of Burlesque exhibit that's
Yes.
running right now in Las Vegas till October 20th.
So we can go see this.
You can absolutely go see it. We would love for you to please support the Burlesque Hall of Fame Museum. It keeps the art of burlesque and the history of burlesque alive in Las Vegas. Well, from around the world, but it is located in Las Vegas.
How exciting.
Yeah.
That is so cool. That is something to be very, very proud of. You know, I think what's beautiful about the Burlesque Hall of Fame and really anything that surrounds burlesque is the celebration of the art form and the individuals that are providing the art form, the backgrounds of the individuals, people who are breaking barriers. And to be celebrated in this way is super, super important, especially during Pride Month. I mean, come on.
And it's so rare in entertainment. I mean, in drag, you can attest to this, but it's so rare to be able to have a direct line to these people who have influenced you, influenced the art. So being able to honor them is just like such a blessing, because you wouldn't really always be able to do that elsewhere.
And it's definitely fierce to see someone else who I can see myself in. You know what I mean? We weren't always raised seeing our exact selves, or people who looked like us, or who had our skin tones, or had our voices, or sounded the way that we sound, if that makes any sense to some people. But it's nice to see it and be shoulder to shoulder, doing something different but equal. I fucking love it. I think this Pride season, I didn't know where this podcast / talk show was going to go when we first started doing it. It was sort of it was a temporary thing. That's what we thought. We thought it was just, when Raja was going to be gone to film All Stars, we knew that we had to fill it in with something. So we thought, okay, well, let's do this. And I sat with Big Dipper, and he was like, maybe you could just wing it. And we did. So we're excited, though, that this Pride season, we are celebrating our 100th episode with a live celebration. We're taking it back to where it all started, and that was with Raja. So Raja is going to be our special guest. I have some fun entertainers coming out, including someone that has been here before and and have worked with before, Natasha Estrada, La Cholita, who's a dear friend, and also Charles Galen, who is an entertainer.
Love Charles.
That we all know. So I didn't know that would happen. I didn't know that we would get there. And I don't know. Is there maybe there's going to be 200, maybe there's going to be 500. I want thousands of episodes. And I think we're just going to be killing it. And I think it's okay. I've said it before. It's okay to look at it and say, we're doing what we wanted to do, right?
Amazing. Congratulations.
Congratulations to you. Congratulations to fucking us.
We doing that.
We are blooming on the same bush.
Come on.
A big hairy bush.
Come on,
a
gardenia.
big old scented bush.
Oh, a scented.
Do you scent your body before you go out and perform?
Oh, yes. I do it with agua de violeta.
Nice.
So if anyone knows what that is, it's a little bit. And sometimes I spray my feather fans with them. So when I'm like whooshing in the audience, they'll get the extra little sensory.
You want to know what I have in my storage unit? You're probably going to think this is crazy, but I really do have them. I have 2 sets of Dita Von Teese's fans. I have a turquoise set and her giant reds, her 6-foot red set. My friend Philip is friends with Dita. He purchased fans from her early 2000s. And then he ended up passing them on to me when he stopped doing drag. But he used to fan dance. He would do full strips in drag. Philip was the one. I'm talking like the strip down his crotch you couldn't clock it. And I still have some of those things. So I'm always like, I've never used them. I think I've used it like to show, but I've never fan danced with them. And they are gorgeous. They're rhinestoned. Philip was the person that used to take me to go see Dita when she would do, back in the day, she worked at Captain Cream's in Costa Mesa.
Okay.
And then people would, at that time, were calling her the Betty Page girl. And then, she eventually started doing more and has put her stamp on it. I think Philip still has Dita in Distress videos.
Oh my God.
They were cool. I mean, there's so much fun Dita stuff. Dita is just, again, another example of someone who takes what they do very seriously, but not themselves seriously.
Yeah.
Works very hard, wants to be able to appreciate those things, but is very frank about who they are, what they provide. And I love that.
I love that.
But yeah, I have those fans, and I'm always like,
I would love to see you do a fan dance with one of those.
Well, that would involve getting on the floor, but how am I going to get back up?
You don't have to get on the floor. I don't get on the floor with my fans too often. You could just
You
have
just
a moment,
ruined everything.
pass it to
I'm
me.
trying to been imagining you on the floor this whole time, and you're never going to
you can still imagine that too.
Okay, but separately, without a fan.
Bring them along too. The more the merrier.
We can break barriers. Dear Delta and Tito, the other day I was in my friend's car and they let out the most fragrant fart.
Ooh.
They didn't roll down the windows, presumably to pretend they didn't break wind, and I didn't want to roll mine in fear of embarrassing them. We both knew it smelled, but neither one of us said anything. Is it very Delta to own up when you cut the cheese? What should we do in this situation? Yours truly, very Matt. Okay, Here's the thing. I think this is an appropriate time and place for this because some people are uncomfortable with a conversation about sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
Or so when they go see something burlesque, it can make them feel more free and they can realize that sex can simultaneously be super, super erotic and dangerous. And it can also be hilarious in the next movement. If somebody passes gas, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. It's something to make light of because you can say, now listen, you and I both know what just happened here. We need to explore a new level in our friendship where we say,
well, we're honest with each other.
We're honest and we go, guess what? I just fucked it up so bad.
Like, you don't even have to say anything. You can literally just lower the window.
And you just go, girl,
Yeah.
I have had it with you. How dare you act like that tonight? We are sitting inches apart. Inches.
It's the gaslighting of it because that's very like sibling.
The what?
The gaslighting. You knew what I said.
I knew what you were saying. Have you ever I'm going to say accidentally. I'm not going to say purposefully because that could be something. Have you ever accidentally passed gas in a performance?
Probably, but not that I've I've never crop dusted that I'm aware of.
He's trying to like hide this because he has to be nude during his performance. He doesn't want people to think like, oh my gosh, that guy's probably farting right now. So
no,
bad.
I honestly, especially in thongs, there have been times where, and this may be TMI, where I wasn't ready to perform.
I see.
And I've definitely, and it was like, you're going to go on in a minute anyways. And I've learned that our bodies really do take well to anxiety and pressure. So if you just kind of say you're not doing that, you can kind of talk yourself into completely forgetting what was happening. But owning up to a smelly fart amongst friends is something that I feel like if you can't do, how close is that friendship?
A fart is hilarious.
It's also, the other person probably did one 2 minutes before and it just didn't smell.
Right. Did you know that when you're at the airport and you're like go through the TSA, like the scanners can see, like they can see the gas.
As you fart?
As it's happening, it'll be like they'll see like the little.
So is that why they patted me down the other day? Because I let one out during that little thing?
No,
they made me
why they patted you down. Who's not going to pat you down, Tito?
It doesn't happen often enough, I'm afraid. The other day it happened and he was like, I'm sorry, I need to keep doing that. And I was like, in my head going, take all the time.
I'm not sorry.
I'm here early.
I get to my gate 2 hours early just for this. That is so funny. No, yeah, it's true. I mean, you don't want it to happen in a super inappropriate time. Like, that's obviously embarrassing. But here's something actually real quick. You said you weren't prepared to go out and perform, but you did the show and that was the thing. I feel like a lot of times, like, that is also the case with clean water. Like, because your water will run clean and you'll say, like, I'm prepared for the next activity. The thing of it is, what about if somewhere up there in a chamber, there's like a pocket of water that didn't come all the way out? You know what I mean? Because as soon as all is said and done and everyone's gone their own merry way, and then you go to the bathroom, stuff's coming out that was way up there. So I think your body does have a way of going, I know you tried. I know you did the best that you could. We're going to go ahead and pull this up here. So when you take a deep breath, we're pulling up that last little bit of mud water. We're going to hold it up here. It's never going to reach down there until we could tell that everything is cool.
I'm so glad I didn't experience that in my moment. But yes, I do absolutely believe your body.
You know how people go, I know my body.
Oh, yeah.
I think your body knows you.
Yeah.
It does. I think it does. And it tries its best to save you from those situations, right?
It does. It tries its hardest. But also thinking about farting in front of someone that you are in a tight situation with, I feel like the only part that you can kind of maybe be okay with lying about it is if it was a date. Like, you can kind of be like, oh, wow, where are we driving by? You know?
I see that. Mm-hmm.
Wow, there's cows out here? Even though you're in downtown LA, like you can fake a police horse maybe. You can smell it in the distance.
Right.
I feel like that's an okay time to lie. But any other time,
right?
Any other person, there's no reason to lie about it.
Yeah. I think it's a mess to lie about it. But you know what's fucked up is if you drive by an area like not far from me on the freeway, there's a sewage treatment plant, and you're in the car and somebody's like, "You fucked that up. That's your ass. I know your ass. That's you." And you're like, "That is not. I swear, I would tell you if it was. It's fucking not me." Yeah, okay. And
You
you're
were
like,
with me at lunch. You know what I
Right.
ate.
"No,
And it was
that's
not
your
bad.
ass." My mom likes to say that. "Oh God, I know your ass. That's you. I created that ass. I know that's you." I'm like, that is fucking not even me. You know I would say it. You know I would. Yeah, okay. And then you can't get out of it because then everyone's like, "You have a history of lying about your farts." And I know your ass.
Yeah, but your mom is Latina.
Yeah.
So Latina moms love to guilt their kids. That's
Of
that's
course.
just embedded in them.
Of
So
course.
even if she's the one, with all due respect,
Right.
mama work.
She's the one.
Even if she's the one, she's gonna be like, "Oh, you farted. What?
Uh-huh. That's you.
No,
Uh-huh.
That's smelly as hell."
Uh-huh. She'll say, "I've changed those diapers before."
Yeah,
It's like,
a while ago.
yeah, up until I was 18. Like, then what? Like, it's not like, that's a long time ago. You know what I mean? That's a long time ago. Thank you for being here.
Thank you so much
This
for
is
having me,
so
Delta. It's been so
fun.
much fun.
You're so easy. Well, you're not. You're so sleazy. I meant that.
I know what you meant.
I feel like I could. There's so many other questions just because whenever anyone's here that wants to talk about burlesque, and it's only been a couple of people, a couple of friends that or anybody that talks about pageantry, all I want to do is just ask question after question because I'm such a fan. You know what I mean? And there's
Same.
so much to unpack when it comes to burlesque or pack up because literally you can unpack how did you take it off, and then you can repack. How do you literally pack for a show? I mean, we could talk about that forever.
Seriously.
So you'll have to come back.
Oh my God,
And
please.
we'll have to
Anytime you
talk about
want
that.
me back.
I love that. Thank you all so much for listening and watching Very Delta. Our show comes out every Monday. Subscribe to Mom Podcast YouTube channel and turn on your notifications so you never miss an episode. Search for Very Delta on your favorite podcast apps to listen to the audio-only version if you can't handle all the heat of this visual beauty. You can also sign up for our premium offerings on Mom Plus Gold by visiting mompodcast.plus, where you get weekly episodes of more Very Delta. Don't forget to send all of your questions to readmedelta@gmail.com. You can follow me on Instagram at DeltaWork. And where can people follow you?
TitoBonito.com, but please let's fix this Instagram. So Cuban Missile Crisis. If you can follow me, I'm heavily shadow banned on the Instagram.
Isn't that it? Like, oh my God.
They won't even let me go live anymore. They say I can go live, and then when I try to click live, they're like, "Yeah, don't do that."
What have you done?
I think it's just over time. I think also the fact that my Instagram title is Cuban Missile Crisis.
Will they allow you to change it to Tito Bonito?
I
Like,
want to change it to Tito Bonito.
you don't want to?
No, Cuban Missile Crisis is so good. It's such a good tease. Like it
It is, but I mean, then it would line up everything to be the same, right?
That makes so much sense. Stop. We'll see.
Yeah.
Well, hopefully that's not
look,
the
you
reason.
came here and all you did was get made fun of, read for doing things. That's what happens when you get too many Latin people together, right?
That's
No,
actually-
I'm guilting you.
I know. I feel like I'm at home.
Yeah, I'm sitting here like your old Thea.
Not my old. I feel like we're not far apart in age.
Oh, well, thank you. I'm almost 40 myself.
See?
We'll see you next week, and until then, keep things very Delta. Yas. Very Delta is produced by Moguls of Media, aka Mom. Hosted by Delta Work. Produced and edited by Doug Robertson. Technical direction by Margot Padilla. With original theme music by Will Pitts. Media and design support by Stone Cold. And set design by Eris Sevilla. Executive produced by Alaska, Willem, Big Dipper, Camille Stennis, and Joe Cilio. Recorded at Forever Dog Productions.
Is spanking someone else for fun very Delta?
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
Okay, so here we go, and action.
It's so good.
Mom!
To listen to Very Delta ad-free, one day early, and to get access to more Very Delta and all of Mom Podcast's premium content, check out Mom Plus Gold at mompodcast.plus.